based on groceries, utilities, everything else, you're about
Yeah.
at $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
All right, so
Or,
today we're going to head over to Budapest, Hungary, with my new friend Rohit Mall.
yep.
That's a mouthful, buddy.
Yes, it is. That's actually how most people remember me because my name's is a bit longer than usual names. So
Yeah, well, Rohit, man, thanks so much for doing the podcast. I'm really eager and interested in learning about Budapest because it's such an amazing and beautiful city. So it's a
yeah.
really special city. So let's start by you just sharing a little bit about your backstory, about how where you're from and how you landed in Budapest.
Yeah, sure. So I'm basically from Pakistan. So I live in the south of Pakistan, like I think 3 hours away from the ocean. So yeah, I've been all over Pakistan. So I've done my high school in the north. Then I moved slightly lower, did my bachelor's. Then I planned on taking a gap year, but after 6 months, I pretty much got bored at home. So I actually applied to this university here in Budapest just for fun, and I got accepted. And I'm like, okay, sure, let's check it out. And my visa. So as a Pakistani, it's pretty hard to get a visa. So
Yeah.
that was the main problem. So I applied for the visa, and I wasn't expecting to get it, to be honest, because it's just tough to get a Schengen. So yeah, that got accepted, and the next thing I know, I'm here in Budapest. So it's all pretty much like a dream come true or something,
Wow.
or like you just wake up one day and you're in Budapest. So yeah,
Congratulations, man. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
So
what
I just completed my master's here in Budapest. So I've been here for pretty much 2 years now.
okay. What did you
Yeah.
study?
I've studied management and leadership and specialized as a management consultant.
Okay. And how
So
many
yeah.
how many languages do you speak?
Oh, I would say around five-ish, because I know a lot of
Okay.
local languages from Pakistan, and
Yeah.
then uh, I know quite a bit of Hungarian now, and I'm familiar with some German. So yeah,
Wow.
it's
Well,
quite a bit.
Your English is impeccable. You speak better English than most people in the US.
Yeah, that's a funny story too. I mean, so back in high school, I actually fell a grade behind, so I had to do seventh grade twice because my English was so bad. And when I
Wow.
went to university, people were like, "Your English is so good." I'm like, "Yeah, it comes with a lot of practice."
Well, it sounds like you actually lived in the US. You have the
Yeah,
US you
yeah,
have the US accent
yeah.
and you're very articulate, but you never lived in the US.
Nope. I've got a brother and a cousin there. I hope to visit soon, but yeah, I've
Mm.
been busy with masters, so now I've got some time. So I'm planning on visiting sometime soon. That would be great.
Wow.
It's
Well,
always been on my travel list.
yeah, well, congratulations to all your success. That is awesome and
Thank
making
you.
things happen for you.
Thank you.
Let's dive into it. So, you're living in Budapest,
Yeah.
and it's just a absolutely beautiful city. First thing people want to do when they're thinking about living in
Mhm.
Budapest, they're thinking about moving there,
Yeah.
and they got to look at flats. So,
Yeah.
give us a range, of what you can find a flat for.
Yeah.
What's a low range? What's a high range? You're living in a one bedroom, I think you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's around 60 square meters, so it's a decent sized apartment. So I mean, it actually depends. So a lot of students, what they do is to manage their budget. They usually like get a shared apartment, so one room apartment. So that could be like half the price of what I'm paying. So around like $300 or $350.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a bit more independent. I like my personal space. So I'm
Sure.
living in a one bedroom, so I'm paying around $630 for it.
Okay.
So yeah,
And what is that in
the look the foreign
Hungarian
okay,
currency?
yeah. So so I'm paying around 220,000 forints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And does that include utilities? Do flats
Uh,
include utilities there?
no, I mean some of them do, but generally it's different. You've got independent meters and stuff. So I'm paying around $100, so around 35,000 foreign for utilities, and that includes water, gas, and electricity.
And that, okay, so that's $35 a month,
Yeah. No, sorry, that's $100 a month for utility.
$100 a month
Yeah,
for water, gas, and
and electricity.
okay.
And yeah, so oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. So within the rent, all what's also included is around 15,000 foreign, which is common cost. So that's for like emptying the bins and cleaning the hallways and stuff. So
Okay. So
that
that's like maintenance
generally
they
you
call.
just consider it as part of the rent.
And how much is that per month?
15,000 foreign. So
And
I
that's
think
included in the 630 that you pay?
yeah,
600,
yeah, yeah.
630. What do you
Yeah.
pay for like Wi-Fi and cell phone?
Wi-Fi is actually fairly cheap. I pay around 5,000 foreign, so that's around $14, and
Okay.
that's unlimited data. So that's fairly cheap.
Yeah.
And for cell phone, I'm paying around 9,000 foreign, so $26. So that's a bit on the high side, but it's decent. I mean, it's perfect for getting by, and
Okay.
yeah. So that's pretty good.
All right, cool. And how about like groceries? When you go out shopping for groceries, how much do you think you calculate per month that you spend to
Yeah, I don't spend too much. I go with the basics. So I spend around like 40,000 to 50,000 forints. So that's around $140.
140
Yeah,
per month?
yeah,
Okay. So let me ask you this. Your rent, you're paying for a one bedroom in Budapest,
yeah,
and it's 630. It sounds like it's
yeah.
pretty spacious. What kind
Yeah.
of amenities come with that one bedroom? Do you have a balcony? Is there a pool, a
Um,
gym, any of that attached to it?
mhm. No. So apartments here in Budapest, they basically don't come with too many amenities. Gym, it's usually you have to go to some other like a independent gym or something. So there aren't too many amenities.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So it's very like yeah, there aren't that many amenities to be honest.
Now, are there other options? It seems like 630 seems to be high, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Can people find other one bedrooms for less than 630? Is that possible?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's possible, but it's also like so. I live in a fairly new building, and
Okay.
it's got modern like stove and all the furniture and stuff. So yeah, it really depends. You could probably head it down to $500, but that's like it's gonna go further away from the city center. So I'm pretty much downtown now. So
I see.
so yeah, it's all about the location here. And
Okay.
since there's a lot of students coming in, there aren't that many apartments. So you pretty much get what you take what you get pretty much.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Rohit, for people that are moving to Budapest and they're looking online to find a flat, where do
yeah.
you go in
So
Hungary?
yeah.
Where are the sites that you can actually identify some places and browse and look through?
Yeah, okay, that's a great question. So what I did was I went to Facebook. So they have a lot of
Okay.
different pages. I've been following a lot of pages, and you just look at an apartment, check. They usually mention all the utilities and rents and the um, land coverage and stuff. So you just contact the landowner and set up an appointment, and you just
In
go check it
Facebook,
out.
though, what part of Facebook did you join a group or did you?
It's like there's a few different pages. So I'm like life. There's one called Life in Budapest, and there's another one called Expats in Budapest. So there's a lot. There's too many.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's probably the best resource to use for
Okay.
a lot of things here. That doesn't. It's not only limited to apartments.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Life in Budapest, and these are groups that you joined, and
yeah,
then you start,
yeah. You just
posting some questions and
yeah.
interacting and okay.
Yeah, you either you post some or like I don't know, landowners usually post something like if they want to rent out their apartment, so you just hit them up with a message.
Okay, great. Good
Yeah,
information. So
yeah,
you had to get a visa. For anybody who wants to live there, they got to get a visa. How
yeah.
complicated is that, and what are the costs involved?
Okay, so the visa is actually not that expensive. I paid about $50, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, it's pretty complicated because having a Pakistani passport, we don't have the best reputation in terms of traveling around. So it did make it a bit of a challenge for me, but nothing's impossible. So if you've got a good travel history, that's sort of a benefit of getting a visa because they do check out your travel history.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's different. So if you're somewhere from Europe, it's just easy. You just fly over. So yeah,
Sure. Now the
yeah.
$50, how long does that cover your visa? How many, is it a year
So
or
yeah,
2 year?
yeah. So I got mine for 2 years.
2 year visa. Is it a
Yeah,
student visa that you got?
yeah. I got a student visa. So I just applied for a new one because I just graduated. So I've applied for a job seeking visa. So
Okay.
yeah, so for that I've paid around $60. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from them, but they've given me a temporary visa for 3 months till they process my paperwork.
Now, do you know anything about tourist visas and if you can extend them for a period of time? So people that want to go to Hungary or hang out in Budapest, try it out, see if it's a good fit for them. Do you know anything
Uh,
about that? How long they
uh,
can?
no, I don't really know much about tourist visa, but I think it's fairly easy to get those because Budapest is pretty much dependent on tourism. There's just people from all over the world visiting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it should be fairly easy. I don't have too much of an idea to be honest, but yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
I'm looking at right now, like 630. You
yeah,
say you could probably find another apartments starting at
yeah,
500.
yeah,
Utilities for you is like $100.
yeah,
Um, and the Wi-Fi 14, cell phone 26,
yeah,
and you're spending groceries 140 per month
yeah,
approximately.
yeah.
So what do you do for what do people do? What do you do for entertainment there and fun? And how much do you think you calculate as far as going out, maybe having a meal, going to
Yeah,
the cafes,
yeah,
maybe I don't, how much do you tell us
yeah,
what you do and then what it would cost?
yeah. So for entertainment, I'm more of an outdoor person. So they've got great parks and hiking trails and stuff, and you can go to the cities close by. So yeah, that's what I do. Like, yeah, I'm more of an outdoor person. So yeah, sometimes I go to the bar, have a beer or something with a couple of friends. But that's fairly reasonable. Like it's not too expensive. So I've calculated around $85 for per month
Per
for
month. Okay.
entertainment. So yeah, you can like I'll give an example. So if I sometimes go to the cinema, so that's fairly cheap compared to other countries. It's like 2,000 forints, so that's around $6 for the ticket, and around $6 for the food and stuff like popcorn and drink and stuff.
Okay. Oh
Yeah,
wow. Now, how much,
yeah,
like if you go out to a restaurant with your friends, you eat at a typical
yeah,
Hungarian restaurant, how
yeah.
much would you spend?
I think it's between 10 to $15 at max,
Okay.
and you get a great amount of food. So yeah, between I think at max it would be $20, but
Okay.
yeah, between 10 and 15 it's a good amount to survive.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the big dish there? Is goulash a big
Yeah,
dish?
it is
Goulash.
goulash, but I've only tried it a few times. I haven't been too fond of it, but there's
Yeah.
also there's another thing called langouche. So it's pretty much like a deep fried bread with some cheese and some garlic and some sour cream on it, and
Oh,
that's one of my favorite things.
oh, that
It does
sounds like,
fill you up quite a bit, so you do need to make sure you don't eat anything before you go. So
yeah,
yeah,
that sounds good, man. That
yeah,
sounds like a
yeah.
form of a pizza or something.
Yeah, it's almost like a deep fried pizza to be honest, but it's pretty heavy. But once you have it, you have to go back a few times.
Yeah. So okay, so let's jump into like how do you get around? Like in what is do they have is there a metro system in
Yeah, yeah,
Budapest and
yeah.
okay, there is. So
So yeah, they've got a great metro setup here. So it's pretty much 24 hours. It doesn't matter where in Budapest you are, and it's fairly cheap. So as a student, you're going to pay 50%. So I was paying around I think $10 a month, and
wow.
it's
Okay.
unlimited to any metro. And as a normal working person, you're probably going to pay around, I think, around $27 for a month,
Okay.
which is pretty good actually, given the transportation here.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So you can't really get stranded in Budapest. It's a very the city's very alive. There's always something happening around the city, so you're gonna
Yeah.
see people all over. It doesn't matter what time of the day it is.
Hmm. And do you find living there that there's a people from a lot of different places, like expats living in
Oh yeah,
Budapest from
definitely.
everywhere?
Yeah, definitely. The so yeah, I have a lot of expat friends, and it's actually, I don't know. I see way too many expats. It almost seems like there are fewer Hungarians than compared to the
Wow.
expats here.
Where are they
So,
coming from? Where are most of them coming from, do you see?
uh, there's a lot of Americans here, a lot of Germans, uh, Austrians as well. It's crazy. A lot of people from Africa, India, and Pakistan included. You'll see a lot of
Wow.
Indians and Pakistanis here, and
Wow.
also a lot of Chinese people. So yeah, it's very diverse.
So it's a
So
great mix, and I guess
oh yeah,
the
yeah.
food would be the access to really great food is
Oh
probably
yeah, it's definitely, you've got a mix of all kinds of food. There's Turkish food, American, the local Hungarian, Greek food. It's pretty good. You can't get bored here, to be honest.
wow. You know, I was
Yeah.
looking at some pictures and it's so pretty. The city's so pretty. But
Oh,
there's
it's
this one in anytime you pull up Budapest, there's like this giant outdoor like bath place.
oh
And
yeah,
there's like it's this huge pool thing, where
yeah,
there's people all
yeah,
over. What
yeah. So
have you ever
that's a
been? What is
thermal
that
bath.
called? And have you been there?
It's called a thermal bath, and I have been to a few here, and it's great if you want to relax. So they've got different pools, like heated. So the heated pool is the most famous, but they've got ice pools and normal pools. So if you want to go there, you need like a whole day to just explore it, because there's just so much to do there. But
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Yeah, it's one of the main attractions here. So yeah, when you do look up Budapest, that's one of the main things that pops up here.
Yeah, okay. And
Yeah,
this is kind of like my big question. So you're a guy who's been around.
yeah,
You know, you're a pretty savvy guy. You've traveled
yeah,
around. What
yeah,
makes Hungary, you know, because you don't hear a lot of chat
yeah,
about Budapest or
mhm,
Hungary.
yeah,
And it's really super beautiful, and probably because it's a landlocked nation.
yeah,
It's not on
yeah,
the coast. But
yeah.
if you think about the places that you've been and the experiences
Mhm.
that you've had, what makes Budapest and Hungary special for you?
Yeah, so for me, it's number one's probably the location and diversity. So compared to other places, I haven't faced any language barriers here, because there's people from all over the country. So a lot of the shopkeepers and restaurant owners and stuff, they speak English quite well. So language isn't really a barrier, as far as I know about Budapest.
Okay.
And I've been to a few neighboring countries, and it seems a lot cheaper compared to those places. So
Hmm.
it's quite affordable, I would say. So
Yeah.
yeah, getting around is super easy.
Yeah. What when you say other countries, what countries are you comparing it to?
So I've been to Vienna and Germany and
Okay.
Slovakia and stuff. So yeah,
Okay.
it's fairly cheap here in terms of uh food and transportation.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, though that's really we haven't touched on what do you do for healthcare there for people that do they have a national healthcare system or?
Oh yeah, they do. So if you're working a job, they register you in the local system, so you get your social security and the healthcare card. So yeah, if you have a job, you get that. Otherwise, as an international, so as a student, I got a health insurance with a private hospital here. So
Okay.
generally, the healthcare isn't the best, I'd say, but for me, my experience has been good because I was with a private hospital. Under insurance with them, so the service was fairly good.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's yeah, it's not known to be the best.
How much is that in that private insurance?
So I paid around, I think, $170 for one semester, which is 3 months or around 4 months.
Okay.
So it was fairly priced, I would say.
Okay. And do you still pay that?
No, so I just recently got a new insurance, so I paid around $120 for a year. So yeah,
Okay.
that covers the basics, but yeah,
120 for a year.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. But if you're in, if people go, do you know much about if a person were to go over there and retire, what kind of insurance they could get as
Not
a retiree?
really.
They're not going to be working.
Yeah,
They
I'm not too sure about that, to be honest, but for their, like, as a foreigner, what I struggled with is that there are very few companies who accommodate foreigners with health insurance due to some language barriers and international policies and stuff. So yeah, it took me a while to change my insurance company due to some policy change and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure about the retirement stuff. Yeah, but
I'm
yeah,
guessing it sounds like what you uh suggested is that they probably would have to pay for some kind of insurance plan, like a private
yeah,
insurance plan.
yeah.
I would
I
think.
that's the most likely thing to do, I think, as a foreigner at least.
Yeah. Do you know anything about can foreigners purchase property in Hungary?
Yeah, you can purchase property. It's yeah, but it's good to have a nice lawyer. It is a bit complicated, but yeah, especially apartments. There's a lot of foreigners that own apartments, and a lot of them rent them out on Airbnb. So yeah,
Hmm. Okay.
yeah,
So when you think about all your costs or what people can live on, when you think
yeah,
about everything we broke down, what
yeah.
can you get what can you get by on per month in Budapest?
Um,
How much
I I,
overall would you think?
I think around $2,000 you'll be able to survive comfortably.
Hmm.
And yeah, it also depends. Some people are just big spenders and some people are average spenders. So it really depends on the person. But I think around $1,500 to 2,000, it's just enough to get by comfortably.
Okay. So if we look
Yeah.
at years, we look at rent 630, then you got utilities 100, 730, and look at Visa. Well, we won't even count that.
Yeah,
Well,
Visa doesn't. Yeah.
yeah. And then we're just looking at basic costs. So you got 630, 730, utilities. It was, yeah, then groceries, 830, 870. Your
Yeah.
entertainment would be take it up
85.
to about 950.
Yeah.
You get around on about 10 a month.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So that's
around
about
a thousand.
920.
Yeah.
So it based on groceries, utilities, everything else, you're about
Yeah.
at $1,000 a month.
Yeah, yeah. So around 1,500, I would say. I'm not a big spender. I'm average, so I cook my own meals and stuff. So I don't go out very often. And
Yeah.
as a student, you do have a lot of perks. Like you get, like, so in transportation, it's straight up 50% discount. So it's next to nothing. So if you're going out of the city, let's say to a neighboring city, even on the trains you get 50% discount. So students have a lot of perks. So
Yeah.
cinema tickets, and yeah. So as a student, it is a bit lower, but so as a working independent, it's almost. twice as much, I would say.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Rohit, that's all I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to thank you
Yeah.
again for taking part and
Yeah,
doing
no
this and
worries.
sharing this
Yeah. Yeah,
information. I appreciate it.
yeah, no worries. It's a great, beautiful place. A lot of museums. The people are good. The food's amazing. If you love beer, this beer and parties, this is the spot. So yeah,
This is
and 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 like it's pretty central. So if you want to go to a different country, the tickets are super cheap. So you pay around, I would say around $30 to get a return ticket to Italy or Germany or something. So
nice.
yeah, it's a great
What
location.
airline are you flying when you pay that?
It's Ryanair or Wizz
Ryanair.
Air.
Or
Yeah,
what's the other one?
Wizz Air.
V what?
WIZ.
WIZ?
Yeah,
Oh, Wizz Air.
Wizz. Yeah,
Okay, Wizz Air
yeah,
and Ryanair. I'm familiar with Ryan, and they're
yeah, yeah,
very affordable.
yeah. Ryan's more popular, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So
Well, Rohit, man, thank you so much, buddy, and it's a pleasure meeting you.
yeah, same. Thank you for taking the time to hear me out. It's a
Yeah,
great
man.
opportunity. And if you do ever visit Hungary, do hit me up.
I'd love to. I'd love to, man.
Yeah.
So you have a great
Yeah.
rest of the evening, and I'll
Thank you
talk
so
to you soon.
much. You too. Have a nice day.